Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NEPA Republicans series of candidate interviews. We're going to interview any candidate that would like to come to the headquarters here. Today we start off with Mr. Stephen Urban. He's running in the primary for Luzerne County Council. Steve, welcome.
Thank you, Frank.
I'm going to ask Steve a couple of questions. Going to find out what he's done, what he wants to do coming up in this next term. So Steve, what brings you back to council? Why do you want to run?
Well, first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Stephen J. Urban, currently residing in Kingston. By day, I'm an IT support coordinator for a major food distribution company. As far as deciding to run, I've been on county council twice before, served two non-consecutive four-year terms. I'm part of state committee, Republican state committee since 1998. And currently on the Luzerne County Study Commission and reviewing our county charter. So I feel I can bring a lot to the table once again here in Luzerne County.
Is that study commission an elected position? Were you appointed to that, or how did you get on?
That's completely an elected position.
Elected, so you
Correct.
had to run for office and you were elected.
Right. Currently serving with 6 other individuals. It is a bipartisan commission because there were some Democrats and former council members that were elected.
In your past, on council, what were some of the things that you helped save taxpayers' money or save the county money? Doge? Did you Doge things before there was Doge?
Well, I was actually a proponent of efficiency. I was a proponent of making sure that they did things above board, making sure that they were perfect. I was partly responsible for the recension of the $5 registration fee, the vehicle registration fee. Myself and currently Controller Griffith, former Councilman Griffith. I was a proponent. I proposed a homestead exemption or putting that back in place at one time. However, council felt that it wasn't necessary at the time, so they shot it down. But I would definitely revive that particular piece of legislation.
So it sounds like you're pro-taxpayer and you don't want to. Do you want to grow government? Do you want to increase taxes to grow government?
I actually have never voted for a tax increase and will never vote for one.
Let's say that again. That's a big one.
Yes, I said I will never vote for a tax increase and don't believe that we should have one.
Man, that's pretty good, because that's the modus operandi. Like tax increase, grow government, new offices, new services. That's good. About the race, any issues with the race? Anything that you see interesting? I just saw that they had a ticket maybe that somebody's putting together, or
I've heard rumblings that there is going to be a slate card put together. However, I don't think I'm part of that slate card. I mean, it's currently the 4 incumbents and a candidate from Hazleton area that are possibly going on this ticket. I was actually approached to go to a luncheon that I happened to miss because of work. My first obligation is obviously my career, so I happened to miss it it slipped my mind that day. However, I had called one of the district chairs afterwards that was part of that meeting setup, and it turned out to be.
Now, when you say district chair, that's part of the Luzerne County GOP.
Correct.
Official organization.
The official Republican Party of Luzerne County.
Because they call us the LLC, so we are not the party. We are the NEPA Republicans.
Correct. So, what had transpired, I always, try to find the root of or the genesis of why that meeting was called with me. It was basically to ask me to withdraw from the race.
So you were, quote, approached, interesting term of how you describe it. So you were approached, and the reason to be approached was to say, hey, Steve, we don't want you running this election. Is that basically
the gist of it? Was basically what I was told was that in 2 years that they would support me if I withdrew now.
Oh my, that's the quid pro quo. There it is. That's the backroom deal. Hey, don't run. For whatever reason, maybe it's because their candidates aren't strong. I don't know. But regardless, they ask you, ladies and gentlemen, this is typical party antics, and you want to know why people shy away from running, because this is it. You decide to run, you put your time and money, and you are an established candidate, and the request is made nefariously. Please don't run, please, whatever it is. And I'm not sure they say please. I'm being very kind here in using that word. So, do we know who the actors were?
Well, I mean, it was the former chair of Luzerne County GOP, the current chair, and one of the district chairs from the Hazleton area. So I really don't want to name names, but
that's easy to see. You guys that are out there in the political arena, you know who the players are. So you're saying these players put together a ticket under party leadership, basically, because the players that you are alluding to and alleging, right? That's who they are, not me. It's not TJ.
Yeah, I mean, as far as that ticket being put together, I mean, it's really, they're stating that the candidates decided to work together, but we know that, typically that's how they operate. The card itself,
party antics.
Yeah, the party antics, and the card is financed by someone else.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in any event, you're with us. You're going to offer your candidacy, and you're going to offer your experience, and the fact that's amazing. Wow. You've never voted for a tax increase. I don't know if anybody else can say that.
No, and knowing that the county budget too, in a few short years, is going to be in a better place too, financially. The county's going to have its debt completely paid off by like 2030. So that's going to return about $26 million back to the county. So I think, what you need right now in county council is somebody that's going to just be a fiscal hawk. Keep the belt tightened at this point in time. And just let them hold the line. And then once they get that money, back to the county, that they don't spend it or overspend it as soon as they have it in their pocket.
So,
because somebody has to watch that $26 million when it's back into the county coffers.
How many people can say that they have never voted for a tax increase? I spent 13 years on the Old Fort School Board. I voted for small tax increases, but Steve, that is a huge accomplishment that you've been able to do that, and you've had that commitment. So that's pretty good. That's why we love Steve Urban for county council candidate here in Luzerne County. But it is some big breaking news, because at our event on Saturday, that was the scuttlebutt. And we had people that are asking us who put this ticket together, and it was. They say, well, it wasn't us, but I guess it. From what you're saying, it was. So, we just wish you luck. Listen, your credentials, everything that you've just told us is worthy of a vote from all residents and all citizens of Luzerne County. That's
right.
That's a pretty good, election integrity, roads and bridges. Like, there's a lot of things in every county and Luzerne County that it doesn't seem to be addressed. Like,
yeah, I mean, what's interesting is I even, being on the study commission, for instance, it's a very bipartisan organization. So I've actually reached across the aisle with some of the Democrats who were once against me. And I was assured by one of them that said, as long as you make it through the primary, we're not going to come after you like they did last time. So, I mean, I'm going to hold it.
More party antics, right?
Well, right, it's party antics, on both sides. However, I think they're, once people get to know me, they understand that I have the best interest of the county at heart.
I guess the Democrats didn't ask you to drop.
No. I mean, but we're, I'm about election integrity, which is very important. Fixing our roads and bridges, as we know, like the county has over 100 miles of non-contiguous road. We have over 300 bridges that need to, be looked at, and especially like the West Nanticoke Bridge being closed at the moment. At this moment in time, but there are ways to keep government efficient, and I plan on getting there again.
Right, you mentioned bridges, Water Street Bridge is closed.
Right.
I mean, you've got some major arteries here that, what are we doing? So, ladies and gentlemen, this was Steve Urban. He's on the primary. You are on the ballot, correct? You're not a write-in?
No.
So Steve Urban is on the ballot for Luzerne County Council. He has served you before, and quite quite notoriously with no tax increases. So,
Right.
Steve,
I
thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you for your honesty and candidness, because the story you just broke kind of clarifies what's going on and what we still have a lot of work to do getting Steve elected, and also cleaning up the party and doing away. They need to make a vow to discontinue the bad habits, especially involvement of the former chair. So,
And I have to say, you know, in closing, that as a member of the state GOP, I mean, we stress
Another-
unity. We stress unity as a Republican Party, and this is not showing unity. You know, and it's showing a little bit of underhandedness that still goes on within the party. So it's something that really should not occur and shouldn't happen.
and
We
what?
shouldn't be attacking each other.
And Steve, if you weren't a seasoned candidate, a man of conviction and goodwill, you might have dropped and not said a word, never exposed this as it goes on. So I really thank you for coming to the NEPA Republicans candidate interview today. So, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we will follow this up, but we think that Steve Urban is definitely a candidate that will make a difference for the people. So, thank you, Steve, and good luck.
Appreciate your time today.
You're welcome.